Good morning, Henry.
And it's a nice one.
Henry! Why do you leave them on the floor?
I didn't precisely decide to murder my wife. It was simply that I could think of no other way of prolonging her absence from me indefinitely.
Yes, well, you will need to sign the register.
In an hour or two, Elinor will be getting her chops and the first delicious mouthful of chicken thallium.
Oh, I'll go.
Who can that be?
I'm just gonna blast in the gut.
Are you right, Donald?
Jippy Tom.
I seem to be in charge of refreshments for Donald's funeral. A punch, I think, for the neighbours, and a special brew for the wife.
Share and share alike.
Is she all bad?
Come on, don't leave me. Come on, come on.
She gives cardiac massage. She puts her fingers down people's throats. Why did I want to poison such a strong, friendly, and useful woman?
Hello there.
Hi.
Might I have a word?
Is this about our double parking, Russell? Are we going to be taken away to some dark room and whipped?
I'm afraid it isn't, Ellie. It's about, poisoning.
Oh. Oh, well, that's me you want to see, is it?
It is, Henry. I'm very much afraid it is.
Well, you carry on, darling, and I'll be right along, huh? Well, let's hope it's not too serious.
Well, it depends how serious you call poisoning, Henry. Shall we go in then?
Yeah, why not?
Henry.
Come in.
It was typical of the police to take an interest in me just after I'd given up all ambitions of murdering my wife, although I had disposed of a few neighbours. But it was abundantly obvious that when actually on the job, Detective Inspector Rush was one of the most astute and ruthless detectives of the 20th century.
I'm sorry to bother you, but I've been talking to quite a few people in Maple Drive about poison.
Oh. What kind of poison?
I'm particularly interested in poison. I look through the local paper and I see that someone's been taken ill or found dead somewhere, and I think, I wonder.
Oh, of course you do.
3 people dead after a
Drunken spree.
Precisely. No inquest. I've asked for an autopsy, but it's been refused. Just another party that got a little out of hand. 3 more stiffs. 3 people die. One of them, a dentist from the north of England called David Sprott. Well, he was only a dentist, wasn't he?
Your teeth are responsible for the failure of Britain
Why is he showing his teeth like that? Is it some form of advertisement?
He is dead, Henry. He is dead, he is dead, he is dead.
Can I get you a drink? Or are you on duty?
I'm never off duty. I'm always on duty. At 4 o'clock in the morning, I wake up and I stare into the darkness, thinking about crime and about the evil things we do to each other and about, well, about how beastly we can be. I'll have a gin tonic if you're having one.
What have you done?
What have you done?
Nothing, I'm a child.
Being a child is no excuse. I haven't done anything. Okay?
La, 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 la. People, neighbours of ours, breathed their last at that funeral, Henry.
Vera Loomis, with her head in the lavvy, the 92-year-old from number 92.
And number 47's wife won't be opening him chamois leather the bonnet anymore, Henry. There she blows.
Indeed. Mrs. 47 has gone to the place where not even regular servicing will help you.
I'm glad you find death such an amusing subject, Henry. She died in agony.
Yes, of course, yes. But, I mean, you've got to laugh, haven't you?
I say there's more here than meets the eye.
Anyone for a sandwich?
To be continued, Henry.
Russell, we must practice for the fair tomorrow. La 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 la.
What I couldn't work out was why Inspector Roche hadn't arrested me. Was it lack of evidence? As far as I was aware, lack of evidence had never yet prevented the police from hauling people down to the station.
So, the cops are on to you.
What do you mean on to me? Cops are not on to me. About what? I haven't done anything.
Are you sure?
Maisie, you've got a mind like a sewer.
Could we have a private word, Henry?
He has a right to one phone call.
Where do they pick it all up?
You.
Shh, Maisie, go and dance. Go on. Well, you, got any further with your inquiries? Quite a lot further. Each day I learn something new about this man. You didn't call him a man.
Probably needs help.
He's beyond help, Henry.
What about the evidence as far as the Maple Drive 3 are concerned?
Never mind about the Maple Drive 3, Henna's old son.
What about the 6 people who collapsed and died 3 hours after eating hamburgers in Wimbledon High Street last year? What about the 10 young lads who suffered severe abdominal discomfort, hallucinations, diarrhea and death 6 hours after a meal of barbecued chicken and coleslaw in Rains Park in January of this year?
You mean more people died? Poisoned? Here in Wimbledon?
Not only that, but I think they may be connected, my friend. And I think they may be linked to this. Templeton Donald, at his home in Maple Drive, Wimbledon, after a brief illness. Much-loved father of Arthur and devoted husband to Billykins. For God's sake, why?
I know. I mean, not the best worded announcement of a death I've ever read, but I should be very upset.
Suppose one person killed Templeton and the people at Templeton's funeral as well.
My God. A monster.
A fiend in human form. And suppose he didn't stop there, Henry. Suppose he's the man whom I suspect of poisoning 17 other people in the Wimbledon area since April of last year. A serial killer, Henry, and I'm not talking cornflakes.
Oh, my God. I mean, he must be caught. And helped.
Where did he kill people?
All over the place, Maisie. Putney's show, for example.
We were at Putney's show last year. I was sick.
Oh! Wasn't it marvellous? Didn't we dance superbly?
To the stocks! To the stocks!
All I need is evidence.
Perhaps he has a few unexplained deaths on his books and is determined to stick me in for them. Or is there really a serial killer loose in Wimbledon? And if so, who is it?
I can't believe anyone would wander around poisoning people at random. Don't poisoners have someone particular in mind?
The most popular thing, apparently, is to slip something in your wife's baked beans.
Really? Maisie, how do you know that?
I read it out of one of your books, Dad.
Whose house are we going to? Jungian analyst with wine box and his wife, Linga Longa Boccherini.
I don't think that's a funny or a clever way of describing them, Henry. Why do you have such feelings of intense hostility towards people?
Why should I have feelings of intense hostility? Do I look like a person with feelings of intense hostility? Why on earth should I have feelings of intense hostility towards a Jungian shrink because he charges me 60 quid an hour to let you lie on his sofa and talk rubbish?
You still don't know yourself, do you, Henry? You're still not in touch with your feelings.
Welcome! Come! Midsummer is past! The old year is dying! Away, away! The king must die! How now?
It's terrifying, isn't he?
Shaking from head to toe.
I am Everett Maltby, the Wimbledon Poisoner. I did not die. I still live. And Cademan and Wolfstan must eat my cake. All right, boys. Only a game.
No, it's good. Good. You've come as a poisoner. Good. Poisoners love their subjects.
Poison is nourishment, isn't it?
Yes, of a rather specialised kind, Julia.
Shall we partake in nourishment?
What have we here? The apple. Of course. The apple of good and evil. The apple of the Garden of Eden. The same apple offered to Snow White in the fairy tale.
Snow White, of course. Yes, how stupid of me. We could do with someone as incisive as this on the force.
What? It's 60 quid an hour.
And we must not...
Assuming you last that long.
As Adam in the Garden of Eden did, or Snow White at the gate of the cottage. Bite into this juicy thing, for it is, of course, tainted with death. If we bite into it and chew, we go blue and choke and whirl around like this.
We could have been an actor. Well, he was an actor, actually.
You'd really think he was...
You would, wouldn't you?
Actually,
I'm afraid nobody's going to be lying on this man's couch for a while. He's dead. There is a killer on the loose. The apple ingested by Mr. McRae contained enough prussic acid to wipe out 20 analysts.
Can we get some pictures of the apple, Detective Inspector?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Right, that's enough for now, boys. Someone got to this apple, and I am warning you that it could be a part of something wider. We are looking at 22 cases in the Wimbledon area. And although it is obviously early days...
Are we talking serial killer here, Detective Inspector Rush?
It is early to say.
I appreciate it is early days yet, Russell, but if there is someone out there poisoning at random, what sort of a man is he?
Well, I don't want to jump the gun or cause undue alarm. The readers of your newspaper, Molly, are quite scared enough as it is. But if there is someone out there, he is sick. Very, very sick indeed. He may not even know he's doing it.
Where did the first poisoning take place, Detective Inspector Rush?
Well, come on over and have a look at that.
I'd think I'd know if I was a serial killer, wouldn't you?
Well, I would. I'm not so sure about you.
No?
Well, you can never remember anything. You once told me your life was a blur, punctuated by letters from the National Westminster Bank.
You mean I might think I've been going to the office or mowing the lawn, whereas in fact I've been poisoning people right, left and centre.
Oh, don't be silly, Henry. And you don't mow the lawn, ever. Can't you even remember that?
Detective Inspector Rush, going back to the
No, sorry, I can't.
And arrest soon, Russell.
Russell, you were amazing.
I've another question. Russell?
If there is someone out there, he is sick. Very, very sick indeed. He may not even know he is doing it.
Well, let's just suppose I'm going to court.
Indeed, and you are?
A murderer. In a small way.
And you're pleading guilty.
To, thank you, Henry. Yeah, to one or two murders. Yes.
And?
Well, suppose the prosecution are saying I actually didn't do just one or two murders. Suppose they're saying I'm a really bad lot, you know, always at it.
One or two murders not being that serious.
Precisely.
Serial killing being, you know, not on.
So have they got anything on you?
For what?
For the other murders?
Well, they're getting it, and I'm rather worried they'll come up with something.
Right. Non-insane automatism.
Yeah. Sorry?
Oh, chap gets banged on the head by a falling tree on the day the murder occurs. And although he is found actually at his wife with a steam hammer in his hand, they maintain successfully that he didn't know what he was doing.
Oh, so I could be banging several people over the head with a steam hammer and actually not know I've been doing it.
Well, in law you could, yes. But the trouble is you'd end up in Broadmoor.
Oh, I couldn't take the group therapy.
No, wait, I don't want the sound of his head. Go on, wait a minute. All right, can you just pull this down, sir? Towards this way, please.
How many murders are you investigating? Yes, do you have any evidence? You have no idea what the poison was. One more, Inspector Rush. Thank you.
Right, everybody. Any questions before I go?
You've got your autopsy, Inspector, is that right?
Yes.
I see we have a celebrity in the street.
Indeed.
Nothing like a few murders for drawing attention to a place.
And we've also exhumed the body of Mr. Luigi Rivera. We're not happy about his last meal, which took place at a restaurant in Barnes.
Russell, the poisoned apple.
Yes, well, we need to know who had access to the apple and who had something against a loved and respected member of this community.
Now, Mr. McCrae was a Jungian analyst. Does this have any bearing on the case?
See you at the cemetery, boys. You too, Molly.
This is the coffin containing the remains of Hugh Padworth, which leads us to a case which has been perplexing the residents of southwest London. We have in the studio with us tonight Detective Inspector Rush. Good evening, Detective.
Turn it up, darling.
What about the poisoned apple that caused the death of
Well, we are trying to trace the origin of this apple, which appeared mysteriously at number 52 Maple Drive on the evening of the Wimbledon Fair and the Beating the Bound ceremony. The victim was a well-liked and respected Jungian analyst.
That was your apple.
It wasn't my apple.
It was.
It was not my apple.
It was.
Wasn't. Am I hyperventilating?
What they need is evidence, isn't it?
Alkaloids of sabadilla.
We know this man is out there. He may even be watching this program. If he feels just a spark of remorse, we want him to come forward. He is very, very sick.
How do you hope to catch him, Detective Inspector?
Well, we think he's getting careless, Valerie. There have been some unexplained deaths at a funeral in Maple Drive, Wimbledon, fairly recently, and I'm hoping to trace the remains of just one of the victims. They may hold the clue we need. We are reaching a stage in the...
I was enjoying that.
Homework.
Where did that apple come from?
Homework. Then television.
Was he talking about David Spot's ashes? Mrs. Spot's got them on her mantelpiece, apparently.
I don't care whether she's got them stuck to the front door with super glue. It's no business of ours. She can do what she wants with her late husband's remains. Why she should allow a lot of old men in green aprons poking about in her husband's ashes, God only knows. Now get to bedroom and do your homework.
Makes you glad to be alive, doesn't it?
It does.
We may not be ecstatically happy, but at least we're not rolling around in agony on the floor.
I know.
Shall we?
Shall we what?
Go upstairs.
Why should we go upstairs? Oh, that.
That. Is it so long since we...
July 12th last year.
Well, I'll say this for the poisoner. He certainly adds spice to life. And you are making such a real effort, Henry, to deal with your very bitter and hostile feelings. Let's go upstairs and do something really dangerous.
You're fat.
Oh, I know I'm fat. Oh, beat me. Oh.
Ooh, you're a fat bitch.
Oh, God, yes, I'm fat. I'm a fat bitch.
Oh, yes, I'm gonna screw you because you're fat.
Oh, yes. 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 I'm fat.
Yes, yes, it's because you're fat I'm screwing you.
Oh. Oh, yes. Oh, do it to me. I'm fat.
I'm fat too.
Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, yes, you're fat. You're so fat.
Oh, fat and I'm screwing you.
Oh, God, yes. Oh, God, yes. Oh, you are so fat and you're screwing me.
Oh,
God.
Fat, fat, fat.
Oh,
fat,
God.
fat.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Oh, oh, God.
God.
Oh,
God.
oh,
God, you're fat.
oh. You're certainly better at expressing aggression. My bum is agony. Do you think it's because people are starting to take notice of Wimbledon?
I think that's putting it rather mildly, don't you? You know that bloke, Kareem Jackson, who stuffed my history of Wimbledon?
Do let us see anything else you have.
He's writing a book about the Wimbledon Poisoner. And your friend Roche wants me to meet him for lunch. Apparently Jackson thinks he knows who the Wimbledon Poisoner is. Why do people have to harp on about such unpleasant things?
Why can't we just get back to...
Basics.
No, not basics, exactly. Well, something along the lines of basics.
I think I need a chiropractor.
There's an awfully good man in Wandsworth.
Ah, hello there, Henry. I believe you know Karim Jackson.
Mr. Farr, we meet once more.
Come on over.
Well, 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 Gunter. Hello, number 47.
Why has he asked the three of us? Perhaps he isn't certain it's me. It could be Gunter, or...
Just call me number 47.
47.
I think you know all about Henry Farr.
Yes, indeed, a major player at that famous funeral party at which so many died.
There's only 3.
3 less suburban Wallies. Who cares? Who noticed? Well, funnily enough, I noticed. I started to write a book about the case. I was intrigued by the idea of a suburban psycho serial killer. And the more I dug into the brains of people of Southwest 19, the more I realized that Wimbledon is full of people who have minds like untreated sewage.
Like me.
You said it, Mr. Farr, not me.
Some of Karim's ideas are most interesting, don't you think, Henry? Aren't you intrigued by them?
No, not really. Not at all. I try not to think about such unpleasant things.
Like me, eh? Matey?
Well...
No. Come on, let's talk about it. You're probably thinking, and I can't blame you, I completely understand. Why has that packy bastard got a £600 suit? A Knightsbridge address? And the power to reject a book written about Wimbledon by a decent little Englishman who's never put a foot wrong?
Ah, Henry. He interrogates you, yes? He shines the torch into your eyes and applies the rubber truncheon, hmm?
Well, as I started to write the book and do research, especially into that funeral party, I thought, I've done more than just write a book. I thought I might know who our man was. I thought I might be on to the Wimbledon Poisoner. And at first I thought we might be looking for a murderer with, say, a history. Someone like those retired Nazi war criminals who hole up in leafy London.
Ich bin Engländer, ich liebe England.
But I rejected that theory. Doesn't fit.
Oh, I don't know. I think that sounds rather good. Did Henry do it, Inspector? I think we should be told.
And then I started to wonder, are we looking for a kind of faceless character? Somebody so anonymous that we probably wouldn't recognize him from one day to the next. You know, somebody who might be referred to simply by the number of the house he lives in. Number 47, for example.
Or 53. Or 107A.
But as I delved deeper and deeper into that dull little suburban party and the events that preceded it, as I talked to people, a picture began to emerge. The picture of one of the guests. The picture of a man at war with himself. A divided soul. A man who couldn't see or refused to accept that Wimbledon and its history are, well, finito bonito.
Is your salad, sir?
Scrumptious salad. It's my favorite thing in the world for chomping my friends. Delicious. See, I started to ask myself questions about the man buried at the funeral, about Donald Templeton. And I started to think, I was intrigued about the way in which he died. See, and then I started writing. I wrote furiously. I think I wrote some good stuff. I mean, I'm a good writer. I've got a clear head. And I know what the ending is. See, I get my suspect and I confront him with what he's done. And then there's the movie. I'm already working on the movie. I mean, the Poisoner movie will have universal appeal. And I know the ending. I get my poisoner and confront him in, say, a restaurant. My chest feels funny.
Are you all right?
No, I'm all right. No, it's all right. It's all right. I'm very excited about this. You see, the mini-series rights I see as a separate issue, and one of my companies will negotiate with one of my other companies for the rights for that. The American deal will be bitten to gross profits.
Something amusing you?
Am I smiling?
You seem to have difficulty in breathing.
Smiling and breathing. This is in Palmer's History of Toxicology, isn't it? Tetanus-spasm is most pronounced in the jaw, the face is fixed in a grin, sardonic smile, rhesus sardonicus.
Christ, the deal will be...
Treatment is difficult if convulsions are already established. It's hopeless to introduce a stomach tube, assuming one can be easily located.
The Wimbledon Poisoner! The Wimbledon Poisoner! The Wimbledon Poisoner is...
The devil, Henry, and here, Pierce. I think you and I are pretty sure of the extra ingredient in this poor man's vinaigrette. Eh?
Henry, where have you been?
I'm not sure. Oh, my God. Have there been any more poisonings?
Oh, Henry, there are nothing but poisonings.
I mean tonight.
You smell as if you've been in a pub.
Pubs. Have there been any in pubs this evening?
Well, I don't know. I'd have thought you'd have had a better idea of that than I.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Henry, what's the matter?
I don't know. I don't think I want to know either.
Oh, Henry.
Elinor, am I a really bad person?
Well, you're not perfect.
No, but I mean, would you still love me if I was bad? I mean, really, really bad. I mean, a fiend in human form.
I'm not sure.
I love you.
You don't sound very sincere.
I never sound sincere. I love you.
Try saying it slower.
I love you.
I love you, even if you are a bit of a psychopath.
Am I? Am I a bit of a psychopath?
Well,
am I?
Well, you know.
Oh, my God, I better turn on the telly, see if anyone else has been murdered.
It's 11:45.
Elinor, now look. If it turned out that I was a if I was the Wimbledon poisoner, without knowing I was, would you still stand by me?
Oh, don't be silly, darling. You're not to worry about the Wimbledon poisoner. Inspector Rush is on to him. Didn't he tell you?
No, he... What? What do you mean, on to him?
Well, somebody told him about Edwina keeping Sprot's ashes. And although she refuses to give them up, he says they're compellable evidence.
The ashes.
They incriminate someone at the party, apparently. Let's go to bed and do something really extraordinary.
Now?
Now.
If I didn't know how I killed Kareem Jackson, maybe Rush didn't either. But I knew I had killed David Sprott. If I didn't get the ashes, then the police certainly would.
I expect you're wondering why I'm here.
Only if you want to tell me, Henry. Think of me as a shoulder to cry on, if you take my meaning. Two rabbits. She should be quite happy with that. One dentist. Just add water, you'll be back on the job in no time.
The thing is, I couldn't sleep. And I thought I heard a noise over the road coming from Sprot's bedroom.
My, what sharp ears we have, Henry.
What are you going to do with him?
It's hey-ho for the path lab.
Edwina will be very upset. She'll be paying homage to a couple of rabbits.
Of course, what we get won't prove anything.
Yes. I suppose what you need is a confession.
We'll get one. You see, I think the poisoner really wants to get caught. I think that getting caught is the only thing that would relieve the awful loneliness he must feel.
I suppose being a serial killer is a pretty lonely business. Not that I've any idea how such people...
Because he can't feel. He's dead inside. And to make himself feel, he has to do the most frightful things. He has to kill and kill and kill again and again and again and again. And each time he kills, he thinks it will be better. But it isn't.
Look, Inspector. I think there's something I should tell you. Although I suspect you already know.
For him, life is a kind of experiment. He's cut off from normal human feeling, and he can never really be human at all. He's wrapped up in his own littleness, his suburban otherness.
There's someone else downstairs, isn't there?
Perhaps it's the Wimbledon Poisoner, Henry. Unless, of course, he's here already. Death has no terrors for me now. My heart is heavy, let's be gone, and dine with him who heals all grief, the poisoner of Wimbledon. Everett Maltby, right there?
I can hear something. Down below, I can hear footsteps.
Let's feast on all his sides of beef. Let's slaver over cottage pies. For he who dines with Maltby boys dines marvellously ere he dies.
Upstairs.
I couldn't stand Nellie any longer, so I left and came straight back home. I just felt sort of wild and crazy and desperate to get back home, if you know what I mean. Do you? If I have to hear one more time how marvellous the twins are, I shall chuck up, I tell you. They have no idea about teeth. They seem completely ignorant of the subject. When I asked her if she had a copy of The Dentist in the house, she claimed never to have heard of it. Do you have teeth, I said. Do you care about them? Have you any idea of what's going on in, say, the field of gum disease? She said she didn't think it was anything to do with her. Ah, I said, ah. It's nice to be home, darling. It's nice to know you're safe here on the dressing table.
She's taking her dress off.
Oh, my God. They're Marks and Spencer's.
words to this one. The words mean, my poems are flaming crimson. I wish only to bugger the sheep of the district.
You know, Rush, I think you and I are the same genetic material. Mad as hatters.
Yo soy un hombre sincero, de donde crece la palma. Yo soy un hombre sincero, de donde crece.
She's taking the rest off.
It's getting very hot in there, Henry.
Do it to me, David! Oh, God, David. This is so good. Oh, you're good.
She's not.
You're so
She bloody is.
Oh, David. It's, oh, my God, David. Oh, Christ.
Whoever said Wimbledon was dull.
Oh, David. Oh, yes, David. Oh, David. Oh, David. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Hallelujah. 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 Oh, David. Yes, David. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, David.
I feel really bad about this.
Yes, this is a private moment for her, isn't it, Henry?
Yes.
Lovely pair of knockers, though.
Yeah.
Well, that was very nice, David. Very nice indeed. I hope you were all right. Was it all right for you? I was fine. Oh, look.
Did you enjoy that, Henry?
You had a good innings, really,
beg your
didn't
pardon.
you?
What are you trying to get
I mean,
me to say?
none of us live
I'm
forever,
not trying to get
do
you to say anything.
Whoever you are, please don't make me do anything. Who are you? Are you a burglar? Or if you're the poisoner, please don't make me eat anything. I am going out now, and I shall leave the door open. You are free to leave. I am going now.
She is gone, my friend.
Thank you.
Right. Get this over your head.
Yeah, might as well. Be good practice, I suppose.
For what?
My first court appearance.
You really haven't twigged this, have you, Henry? Let's go somewhere where we can talk.
Henry? Henry?
Come on, Rush, over here.
Receive! Where are your fluorescents?
I think they went up the hill. We must stop them. Fan out. Grab the blinking lights from the roadworks.
Let's tear them limb from limb.
Yeah, limb from limb. Bring your bicycles. Use vehicles where possible.
Oh, Henry, what are you doing? Where are you, Henry?
Oh, Maisie, go back to bed. It's against the law to leave children under 12 in the house alone.
Oh, all right, come on then.
Right, Henry. Let's have a quiet talk, shall we?
Let's not. Go away, can't you? Leave me alone, can't you? Stop playing with me, can't you? Isn't arresting me good enough? Do you want to drag me back to some private black museum of your own?
Who are you talking to, Henry? Yourself?
No. No, I know you!
I know you. It's Professor Bleeth, isn't it?
No,
Yes, you came into the shop. You bought some thallium.
No, I'm not Bleeth. I lied.
Sorry?
I'm Henry Farr. I am the Wimbledon Poisoner.
What?
Well, let me put it another way. I'm the man who did the poisonings here in Wimbledon. I am the Wimbledon Poisoner. Yes. I am the Wimbledon Poisoner!
And I'm Adolf Hitler, but I have to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I killed them all! I killed them all! I put thallium on Dr. Templeton's chicken. I did, for Christ's sake, I did. What do I have to do to get this across? Set it to music? Look, I put bleach in the punch. I get blackouts. I get the red mists. Or are you always running across poisoners? Huh? Given your rather lax attitude to heavy metal toxic substances, I should think they're always dropping in for a chat. Huh? I inject apples with prussic acid. I put strychnine in salad dressings. I have murdered 4 people to my conscious knowledge, and probably a whole lot more once in the grip of dementia. Would anyone like to hear about this? You ignorant, greedy bastard! I am the Wimbledon Poisoner!
So, why not tell me? Why not tell your friendly neighborhood copper?
Because you know, don't you? Oh, yes, you've known all along. That's why you're trying to torture me, because you fancy my wife, don't you? You're like a voice inside my head. Oh, yes, you're like a voice inside my head.
That's what they call conscience, Henry.
I'm a bad, bad person, Inspector.
A bad boy, eh?
Somebody tell me what the problem is. One at a time.
We think we have found the Wimbledon Poisoner. There are 2 of them.
Yes, my husband may have been abducted. Oh, God, please help.
Yeah, well, can I just remind you that this is a matter for the police?
Every second is precious.
Madam! Sir! Tango to Charlie. Yeah, I think we've got a public order incident on Fassbinder Road.
I think that I'm losing my mind. Do you want to listen to this?
Not particularly.
But I'm a psychopath. I don't know why. I mean, how did I get that way? Maybe it's something they put in the tea at the office. All I know is I should be put away before I do any more damage.
Were you really trying to murder your wife?
Was I? And if I was, why was I? I don't know. I can't remember. All I can remember is that long before all this, before time and lack of imagination and weakness had made me forget it, I did love her. And I stopped loving her, and I wanted that love to come alive again. And it did come alive. But yes, I wanted her dead. I really wanted her dead. And what man who's been married for 20 years hasn't felt like that? Don't tell me you haven't felt like murdering your wife. Not that you've got a wife, but if you had a wife, you'd feel like murdering her. Everybody does. Just that they haven't got the nerve to go through with it. That's all. Oh, they quarrel about the kids or property, slowly destroy each other over the years, when what they really want to do is get their hands around the old bat's throat and squeeze. Everyone wants to murder their wife. It's fair enough. Bastard! Evil, perverted bastard! Nasty, slimy, twisted little, horrible little non-entity! She's owed a crack at me, probably. Why not? What is all this big deal about killing someone, huh? At least it's over and done with and you can get on with the rest of your lives. It's better than rowing all the time, isn't it? Everyone wants to murder someone they really love. Crime, passion, L.O. Bean. You can get more for robbing a train than topping someone. Murder isn't such a big deal. Vicious little twerp. Stupid, stupid little solicitor! President Nixon and Henry Kissinger killed hundreds and thousands of people. All right, they were Vietnamese and Cambodians, but they were still fully paid up members of the human race. Oh, but they do all right, don't they? Oh, yes, they get honorary degrees from American universities, for Christ's sake. Look at Margaret Thatcher. Oh, she sends innocent people off to the Falklands and Iraq to get killed, and they make her a baroness. All I've tried to do is murder a very, very difficult woman to whom I've been married to for the last 20 years. We're talking about self-defense, for Christ's sake. Elinor is... You don't know Elinor. And before you casually condemn me for smearing a bit of thallium on her roast, listen to what I've got to say. Sometimes I love her, and sometimes I want to kill her. And sometimes I actually do. Try and kill her. Now, I'm sorry about all those other people, I really am. I didn't mean to kill them. Okay? Now, you can stop playing with me. You've been playing with me all along, haven't you, now? Because you enjoy seeing me squirm, don't you? Who did the other poisonings? Was it 47? Gunter? Well, you won't bother to pin anything on them, will you? No, you've got someone to throw to the media, haven't you? Well, come on, come on! Slap the handcuffs on me, do whatever you've got to do. I'll phone a few national newspapers, get a few paperbacks together, because I am the Wimbledon Poisoner. Okay?
No, you're not. I am.
Look, you may be a poisoner. I don't know. I mean, you might be a poisoner who resides here in Wimbledon. But I am the Wimbledon Poisoner, okay? I mean, I know when I poison something.
Poisoner, you couldn't poison a fucking fruitcake.
I think I could, actually.
I am the Wimbledon Poisoner. There are no other poisoners worth their salt operating in this district. I am the Wimbledon Poisoner.
Remember, there are two of them, and they may be armed. They are very dangerous.
Spread out! We must leave no stone unturned.
Onward!
Listen, I put thallium on my wife's chicken.
And what were Templeton's symptoms? Stomatitis?
He probably had a bit of stomatitis.
Did his hair fall out?
Well,
How long did it take?
well,
And how much did you give him?
a few grams, actually.
How much bleach in the punch? You need 100 grams to finish you off. Work it out with a dilute solution, you cretin. Didn't you do any chemistry, moron? Atropine, 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 Sonny, that's my poison. The symptoms of atropine poisoning are primarily excitative. Restlessness, mental excitement, incoherence, mania, flushing, dry skin. Think back, think back.
The thing about teeth is none of you floss. The thing about teeth is...
It was you. It was you. You slipped atropine in the punch. And Donald?
I couldn't get enough atropine into the chicken. I didn't get enough time. Those surveillance cameras were always watching. Thallium would have taken weeks.
What about McRae? And Jackson?
McRae got the apple. Wasn't supposed to, but he did. Jackson got the strychnine in the salad. But by then, of course, I didn't care. It was doing it. Seeing how they died. It was so interesting. You feel a lot of things. I can see it in your face. You're full of feelings, good and bad, I don't know. I have no feelings. Can you imagine that?
So I'm a sort of attempted poisoner. I failed, I mean. I failed. Oh, thank you, God.
Every day people are being poisoned, Henry. We encourage it. Poison is part of our diet. It's good for you. The food's all poisoned. There's listeria in the cheese, salmonella in the eggs, rich cesium in the lamb and the milk. And then there's the foreigner poison, and the VAT poison, and all the other poisons that keep flooding in and changing the chemistry of the country. So that Wimbledon isn't Wimbledon anymore, but somewhere else. It isn't a green and pleasant land anymore, but a dark satanic mill. The mill.
The mints.
What was in those pins? Tell me, what was in those peppermints?
We have an appointment, Henry. We have to make bread for Wimbledon.
Come on.
They must have gone the other way, towards Putney.
Well, they're probably from Putney. Wimbledon Poison is probably the Putney poison of our lives.
They're not from round here, I'll be bound. I think we should spread out.
What?
Where?
Right, come on, let's go over the common towards the windmill.
I thought, ages ago, that you would make a perfect fall guy. You see, you could poison a lot of people, and then you could poison the one person that you wanted to kill, and nobody would think it was you. They would think it was a maniac. I went to prostitutes.
Really? Well, that's understandable. What are we doing here?
We're going to bake bread for Wimbledon. Have another mint.
No, thanks.
What do you want to know? I'll tell you about everything. I'll shed light. Light! For God's sake. It was Elinor that I wanted to die. She was supposed to eat the apple. I didn't want her to live, you see. I couldn't bear for her to be alive, you see. And now all Wimbledon will eat what I prepare.
Oh, come Come on, man. What was in those mints? What have I eaten? What are you going to do with them? Rush! Rush! Oh, God! The flower. He's going to poison the flower. Rush!
If you love someone, if you really love them, love. I saw her with you and I thought, oh, she's so sweet, so pure, so gentle. She's so sweet and gentle, is Elinor.
Well, she's...
She's what? I couldn't understand how she could be with anyone like you. Oh, Elinor, you're so beautiful. So sweet and gentle.
Well, she can be sweet. She can also be a pain in the arse.
She's got a lovely arse.
For God's sake, man, pull yourself together and stop talking about my wife's arse.
Like a jewel. And you crawling all over her, that's what I couldn't stand. I wanted her to be somewhere where no one could touch her but me. I am a member of the Wimbledon Windmill Society, and you are going to die.
Oh, God. I demand to know what was in those mints. I take it they were not normal mints.
Were they more than usually extra strong, do you think? English poisons are the best in the world.
Look! Poisoning people is wrong, okay? It's not advisable. It's not funny. It's not clever. And it's certainly not difficult.
Well, you seem to find it quite tricky.
It's wrong, okay? It's wrong.
Oh, the bracing effects of morality on the system. What a strict thing it is when it knows that it hasn't killed anybody.
I think you should see someone. A psychiatrist.
You think you're so funny, don't you, Henry? You think you're such a laugh.
Please, Rush, for Christ's sake. Oh, God. I feel really peculiar.
You'll die, Henry Farr. Die, die, die!
Look over there.
The lights! The lights are on in the windmill!
And the sails.
The sails are moving. They must be in there.
To the windmill!
Making flour for all of Wimbledon. Poisoned flour. And the reservoir!
Oh, thank God. First the bread, then the water.
You were the poison, and I was the antidote. That is why the others had to die. Because! Fancy a spot of lunch, Henry?
What was in those mints? Would dimercaparol do me any good?
Oh, we're out of antidotes, Henry. We live on poison these days, like Mithridates. It's Elinor here, Henry. I've made some nice bread for you. Look at it! Wimbledon! 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 Life is a disease, my friend. Every single thing you do helps to kill someone. Yes, I put atropine on the chicken. Yes, I may be the Wimbledon Poisoner, but you... If we do judge the intentions, if we do look at the soul, how many times a day do we kill, or torture, or behave obscenely? We are all guilty in our secret thoughts. Essence of dentist.
Swine! Evil swine! The evil bastards! They were in my cupboard! Henry! What have you done?
I haven't done anything, Elinor. I can explain it all.
Which one of you is the Wimbledon Poisoner? Or are you both the Wimbledon Poisoner?
I am the only Wimbledon Poisoner. There is only one Wimbledon Poisoner, and I am it.
Let's get up there!
Russell, you are obviously not well. You are in need of therapy.
It's me that's in need of therapy. He's given me something, for Christ's sake. I'm dying.
Oh, Henry, my darling. Oh, Russell, what have you given him?
Elinor! Here he is. If you want him, come and get him. Al fresco dentist. Ashes from heaven! Genuine dentist ashes! There's plenty more! Dust in the wind, my friends! We are all dust on the wind! What was in those mints? Pains in the stomach. And your imagination, Henry. Your conscience. And what is that conscience of yours but someone else inside you? Agonite, bruising.
My God,
Henry's
look, he's going mad.
Better. Colchicum, cantharidine. Henry's a... Oh,
he's going completely. He's a psychopath.
Loud axiom! It's salt! Catanine! Henry's not a bad boy! Alkaloids of aconite! You smug bastards! Aconite!
He's dead! Oh, my God.
Yes! He's dead! But he was a psychopathic poisoner! And as well as being a psychopathic poisoner, he was probably the most boring man I've ever met. So that's okay. Isn't it?
In the course of time, people forgot about the Wimbledon Poisoner. And I too forgot about the time I tried to murder my wife. To my surprise, many people were pointing Elinor and me out as a model couple.
Do you know something?
What?
I really did think you might have been trying to kill me.
Really? What, when all this poisoner business was...
Even before that, one Saturday here, there was such a bad feeling in the house.
Oh, darling. People go through bad times, and, it's not such a bad thing, is it?
What?
Having an urge to do away with one's partner.
Henry?
Well, suppose we were having a row.
right? And I sort of lashed out without meaning to, of course, and tried to, you know, push her over a cliff or something.
What?
What would you do?
I'd divorce you. Then I'd phone the police and have you sent to prison.
Fine. Fine, I knew you'd say that.
You don't really want to kill me, do you, Henry?
No. Not anymore.
What?
Not ever. Really.
Couldn't say anything but that, could you?
No.
I'm very strict about things like that. You think I'm stupid, don't you? But I'm not. I know all about you, Henry.
I lay awake for some time thinking about Elinor. She was, I decided, hard to explain. I still didn't know what she would do in any given situation. I didn't know what she really knew about me, or what she would do with what she knew. Killing her would have been a very stupid thing to have done. There was, I decided, as I turned over to address myself to sleep, like the suburb around me, quite a lot of mileage in her yet.
I'll tell you one thing about us, Henry. It's till death us do part. That's the way it is, right?
Right.
See you die. Some other wines may taste as sweet, and others taste as sour.